What's up, guys? IFORE here with some new Walking Dead news for you. The Walking Dead Spoilers Facebook group has officially announced who Negan kills at the beginning of Season 7. If you know anything about the creator of this group, whose name is Autumn, you'll know that she does not release information until she is certain that it can be confirmed. You'll also know that her sources have never been wrong about any spoiler they've put out in the past, so you can rest assured that this is a legit spoiler, not just another theory. I'm not going to go into great detail on what was posted, but I am going to reveal who Negan is going to kill. Then I'm going to move on to a new theory I've been thinking about. It's not going to be another who did Negan kill theory though, because those are pretty pointless from here on out. If you would like to read the full spoiler, you can find it on the Walking Dead Spoilers Facebook page. It'll be the pinned post at the top. The link for that is in the description. Okay, so let me make this as clear as possible. This is not a theory. This is a spoiler. If you don't want to be spoiled, please don't continue watching this video. I'll give you a few seconds to close the video out if you need to. Still here? Alright, here it is. You ready? Season 7, Episode 1. Negan kills Glenn and Abraham. That's right, he's taking out two of them. Again, if you want to read the full spoiler along with more details, you can check it out on the Walking Dead Spoilers page. Okay, so let's talk about my new theory. First of all, many of you have seen, or are at least familiar with, my Michonne theory. We now know that that theory was wrong. Michonne is not going to be the victim of Negan's bat. However, something still doesn't add up for me. Out of everyone in that lineup, only a few of them were given some really good clues and foreshadowing. Michonne was my number one pick, but Glenn and Abe have always been my second and third picks. They were the only other characters that had a lot of evidence and clues to support their deaths. Sure, there were some smaller, really reaching clues for people like Eugene, Aaron, Carl, even Maggie, but none of them even stood out to me as being convincing at all. Michonne, Glenn, and Abraham are the only ones that stood out for me. So now that we know that Glenn and Abraham's clues actually did mean something, my question is this: why did Michonne get so many clues and so much foreshadowing if they all meant absolutely nothing? This brings me to my revised Michonne theory. I still think that Michonne is going to die in Season 7, just not as early as I originally thought she would. The question is how. I'm going to go to the comics here shortly, so I need to put out another spoiler alert. If you're reading through the comics, I'm about to spoil some stuff and things, so heads up. Those of you who have read the comics should be familiar with the character Holly. She was Abraham's girlfriend, and she gets herself killed by Negan during the All-Out War. I've seen some people talking about who they think is going to get her comic book death in the TV show, and most people are saying either Sasha or Rosita, since they both dated Abraham. But why does it have to be one of his girlfriends? Could they possibly give her death to Michonne? Let's take a look at some evidence to support this theory. Let's examine Holly's part in the comics, and how her death comes to be. Negan comes to Alexandria to collect his 50%. Rick sees an opportunity to take him out, and tells Andrea to get to a tower with her sniper rifle. Long story short, the attempt failed and Andrea gets the crap beat out of her and almost dies. Later, Rick plans an attack on Negan's compound with help from Ezekiel from the Kingdom and Jesus from the hilltop. Andrea has to stay behind because of her wounds. Now, we know that Andrea's comic book storyline was given to two different women in the show. Her relationship with Rick went to Michonne, and her sniper skills went to Sasha. So if this scene plays out in the show like it did in the comics, then it's safe to say that Sasha will be the one in the tower and won't be there with Rick during the assault. So Rick's plan is to cause a bunch of noise to attract walkers, and then ram his car into the gate to create an opening. He intended to do this part by himself because he knew Negan didn't want to kill him yet. However, this is where Holly steps in and forces her way into his car, leaving Rick behind. She takes his place. Had Andrea been there with him and knew the plan, she probably would have done the same thing. The group needed Rick at the time. They couldn't let him sacrifice himself. Andrea wasn't there, but I see no reason why Michonne wouldn't be there during the scene in the show. What if she's the one that stops him and takes his place? It's definitely something I could see her doing. So after Holly gets captured, Negan mistakes her for Andrea. He thinks he has Rick's girlfriend. Even after Holly tells him he's got the wrong girl, that she was Abraham's girlfriend, he calls her a liar. He says that the quickest way to a man's heart is through his vagina. He wants to hurt Rick by hurting his woman. For this reason alone, I believe that if Negan has a chance to kill Michonne in the show after Rick attacks him, he's not going to hesitate doing so. Negan later launches a counterattack on Alexandria. He offers Holly up as a peace offering, with a bag over her head. They get Holly back only to find out that she has been turned, and she bites Denise. Imagine the shock and tears that will be shed by the viewers if this is how Michonne ends up going out, especially if Walker Michonne takes someone else out with her. Okay, so now let's go over a few clues that the show gave us. Some of these I have already used in my last videos, thinking they were clues for her getting the bat, but they actually work really well with this theory as well. First, the fact that Michonne didn't get a single scene with a bat in her face during the Eeny Meeny Miny Moe scene, when everyone else in the lineup did. Instead of this meaning that she was going to get the bat, Could it be foreshadowing that Negan is going to kill her later on without using Lucille? We don't know exactly how he kills Holly, but it definitely wasn't with a bat. Next up, Rick seeing Michonne's hair on the walker. This is more possible foreshadowing of her becoming a walker in the near future. Other clues that I've used could work here, including the apple scene with the Bible reference, Jesus taking the picture of the queen down off the wall, the fact that her storyline with Ezekiel is likely going to be given to Carol, and the fact that she's finally happy, which is exactly where they put Abraham right before the season 6 finale. The last piece of evidence I'm going to point out is this scene between Carl and Michonne, where he tells her that he would put her down if she ever turns.
I saw what you did with Deanna. You could have killed her.
No, I couldn't. I
Were you
wouldn't.
playing some sort of game out there? Did you think that?
No.
Then why?
Because it should be someone who loved her, someone who's family, and I'd do it for you.
So if this plays out where she does get Holly's death, I would expect to see Carl being the one that actually puts her down. So what do you guys think of this theory? Oh, and just for the record, no, I do not hate Michonne's character. I'm not just looking for any excuse to kill her off. She's one of my favorite characters in the show, and I will be sad if they do kill her. But the writers are not known for putting this much foreshadowing and clues into the show and have it all end up meaning nothing. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more from me. And as always, thanks for watching.